Hi, everybody. This week in grammar, we are learning about prefixes. And prefixes are letters that we add to the beginning of a word. And these letters change the meaning of the word that we add them to. And this week, we're going to learn about 5 different prefixes. We're going to learn about re, un, pre, dis, and miss. So we're going to be reading and using words that begin with un, pre, dis, or miss, and these are all prefixes. Let's talk about what each one means first. So first we're going to talk about the prefix un. When we see un at the beginning of a word, it turns that word to mean not or the opposite. So for instance, I have the word lock. If I lock something, it means I cannot get into it. If I add un to the beginning of that, it becomes unlock. Now that means that it is not locked and it can be opened. So lock means that you cannot open it. Unlock means that it is not locked. So now I have kind. We know that kind means being respectful to others. If I add un to make unkind, it means that someone is not being kind. So if you're unkind, you are not kind. So un, when we see it at the beginning of a word, it means not. The next prefix we're going to talk about is re, R-E. And when we see re at the beginning of a word, it means again. So if I have read, that means I read something. If I add re to that, it becomes reread. Reread means that I'm going to read something again. I often need to reread something to make sure I understand it. So it just means I need to read it again. I have use by using this marker, right? If I have add re to the beginning, it becomes reuse. If I reuse something, it means I use it again. A lot of times you might reuse things in your house when you're done with their original purpose. Like sometimes we reuse water bottles so that we can fill them with other drinks that we can have. So re means to use again, or re means again if you do something again. Our next prefix is pre. Pre means before, and prefix has pre in it. And we can remember that pre means before because a prefix comes before a word. So here I have 2 words. I have heat. Heat is to make something warm. If I add pre to the beginning of that, I get preheat. Now, this means that I'm going to heat something before. When we cook, we often need to preheat the oven. That means we make it hot before we use it. So we heat it before. Here I have view. When I view something, I see it. A lot of times in school, we might preview something we are doing. That means to look at before. When we start a new unit, we preview the vocabulary words. So we look at the vocabulary words before we learn about them in our lessons. So when I see pre in the front of a word, it means before. Our next prefix is dis. When I see dis before a word, it means not, or it means the opposite of something, just like un. So if I like something, it means I enjoy it. If I put dis in front of that, now I have dislike. If I dislike something, that means I do not like it. So it's not, I do not like. When I obey, I'm following the rules and I'm listening. When I disobey, that means I am not obeying. I am not following the rules. So when I see dis at the beginning of a word, I know that it means not. And the last prefix we're going to talk about is miss. When I see miss at the beginning of a word, it means that something is wrong or it means wrongly. So let's do some examples. Here I have use. Again, I know if I use something that I'm working with it or doing something with it. If I misuse something, it means I am using it wrongly or I'm not using it in the correct way. I have treat. Now, a treat, if I'm treating someone kindly, that means I'm doing something nice for them, right? But if I mistreat someone, it means I am not treating them the way I should be treated. I'm treating them wrongly. So miss means to do something wrong. Sometimes we misspell words. That means we spelled them wrongly. We spelt them wrong. So miss means wrong. So remember, our prefixes come before a word. We're going to focus on 5 this week. Re, which means again. Un, which means not or the opposite. Pre, which means before. Dis, which means not or the opposite. And miss, which means wrong.